Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Ready. Play.
Hello. Yes, we're live.
Hello, everybody. Excited to be here with y'all today for a very exciting match.
Yeah, same here. ATP Finals. Alcaraz Ruud.
Yeah, I was about to say kicking off the tournament, but there were two matches yesterday already. Both went into straight sets. Do you think this one is going to be the first one to break the mold, or still looking at a two sets, relatively easy?
I got Alcaraz in 2, unless he, sees a butterfly and loses focus or something. What do we think of Medvedev's new style of returning a serve?
I didn't watch the match. Was he returning really close to the baseline?
He was holding the frame of the racket and trying to hit it with the handle.
That's yeah.
I don't think it's going to catch on.
No, yeah.
Did he do that at the end?
Era?
Yeah, on a 40 love point, I think at 4-2 in the second, he was frustrated and expressing that.
Did he flip it back before Fritz served?
I think that he did. I actually didn't see the latter part of the clip, but I know he was holding it, in a goofy way for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these two guys are not going to do it for sure.
Although I bet Alcaraz could if he wanted to. Maybe not against Ruud's serve.
Yeah, I can picture it actually. I mean,
I feel like Alcaraz
in the group.
Left-handed.
But yeah, I also think we're not going to see a decider in this one.
Yeah.
Do y'all have anything to watch for the players? Whether it's Alcaraz's first serve percent or Ruud's mobility. Like, is there anything that you think this match is going to hinge on?
I mean, not for the match, but I'm curious how Alcaraz is going to serve and his forehand. I wonder how it's going to look, because the faster the surface, the forehand can falter. It can create a lot of errors. He might, go wide or long. So indoors, I'm always curious how Alcaraz is going to play, because it's always different. And he was talking about how fast I think Shanghai was.
Yeah.
Or Paris. Sorry, it was Paris he was talking about. And he said he liked the Davis Cup conditions very much. So from one indoor tournament to another, it changes a lot for him. So how he's going to play regardless of Ruud, because I don't think Ruud is going to be able to test him today. So I'm curious about those.
Go Cup. I think that's exactly right. I mean, he struggles on the faster surface. This is a faster surface. Anything could happen. And he's such a rhythm player. So related to that, for me, I'm always watching his drop shot. If that's falling, he's in rhythm. I don't know that anybody can beat him except for Sinner on a good day. So worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah. I don't have any particular shot I would say that I could be looking at. I feel like the forehand, really, if it starts getting too loopy, and I think mostly in terms of stats, I would say maybe his enforced errors.
Yeah.
If he starts just kind of, not necessarily hitting as well as he can and not getting aggressive enough, I think it can get to that point. But he did reach the semifinals last year in his first appearance. So.
Yeah. Andre, we had a question in the chat for you, which is that it must be early where you're coming in from. Where are you zooming in from today?
I'm in Montreal, so it's 8 a.m. It's not bad. It's okay. It was worse for some of the WTA finals matches. Yeah.
You look very good for 8 a.m. I could never. I could never stream at 8 a.m. So respect.
The camera has a soft skin effect.
Yeah, I need that, and it's 4 p.m. here. I still need that filter or effect.
We've got another kind of chat comment here that Jake Davies is finishing a double gym session. Looking forward to an afternoon of tennis. What exactly does a double gym session entail? Is that like a morning session, an afternoon session, or just stay for twice as long?
I don't know. I don't go to the gym. So I have not even a single gym session, let alone a double.
I'm coming out of a gym session myself, and then after this going to work because it's 8 a.m. where I'm coming in from in Durham, North Carolina as well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably in the same time zone earlier, right?
Yes, indeed. I actually had the chance to visit Montreal for the first time this summer.
Nice.
Amazing city. I love Canada. My wife, her mom is from Canada, and she's got a Canadian citizenship. A beautiful place to visit. I gotta imagine good summer tennis as well. A lot of light, decent weather.
Yeah, it's really solid. Some summers get a little bit more rainy than others. We have a bit of a lack of indoor courts, believe it or not. Yeah, it's courts everywhere outdoors, and some of them are not necessarily greatest quality, but we're all amateurs. We don't give a crap. So
Yeah.
the ball hits a crack, it's lucky me.
Yeah. All right. So we got some interesting kits here. We got wine colored for Ruud. A nice color. Regal in some ways. Alcaraz's kit, a little brighter, little lighter. We call that periwinkle blue. I don't know.
Is that to blend in with the background or the court?
Is that an unfair advantage?
Yeah, it's like an orange kit on clay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of players have this kind of tendency of like wearing the colors of wherever they are, like especially on clay or the Australian Open. I find it's like kind of common to have them like wearing the light blue. The only place where it's like starts getting it different is in North America courts, like US Open. A lot of players opt for the black, and yeah.
The US Open always seems to be where people try out the freshest styles. Australia's always kind of loud.
Australia's the fun slam starting the year with a bang for them. So
And here we go. Match is getting underway with Ruud serving first.
I might be just slightly behind you guys, but that's fine.
I can pause my stream and then wait for you to catch up for a second, so we're all watching the same thing. So let me know when the first point ends, and I'm going to restart my stream then.
Ruud is about to start serving for me.
Oh, that's for me as well.
Okay.
He's started bouncing the ball.
Exactly.
Alcaraz had such an interesting year because, obviously he won the two majors, Indian Wells, but there were momentary lapses several times throughout the year. And Sinner, while just was more consistent. It seemed like Alcaraz was the only one who could regularly push him, whereas Alcaraz can lose focus and let players that really shouldn't be able to hang with him on the court stick around. All right. Has the first point concluded? Am I good to restart the stream?
I think it's good. I think we're on the
second
same
as well for me. Sorry, Zach.
Okay. All good.
Yeah, Alcaraz just hit a return winner, which was a really nice change up from the forehand and force that he did.
Yeah, it looked like Ruud thought his serve was out. He didn't even move.
We've got Super Dave in the chat from Texas. What up, Dave? Thanks for joining as always. Please, if you're in the chat, folks, there's no question too wacky, too weird. And if you just got more of a comment, hey, throw it in the chat too. People want to see. Alcaraz returning well here. Ooh.
Who called the 8.5 or 9 out of 10? Was it a Alcaraz season? He called himself having that kind of season.
Oh, interesting.
Himself.
Oh yeah. I
I
mean,
think
if
that's
you
about
win
right.
2 Grand Slams in a year, it's
Yeah.
still like a very good season. Like,
Yeah, I just opened the chat as well. Thank you. Is that John, our producer, with the 2015? I'm rocking my my Gillette sponsorship just finished beard from Federer.
yeah.
I'm rocking my I need a shaving something sponsorship beard. Okay, Alcaraz with 2 early break points here. This is exactly the kind of start that you'd want to get off to if you're Carlos Alcaraz.
No John today.
No, John? Okay.
Okay, that's 1 break point save for Ruud.
Yeah.
Was that a forehand return that he missed?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like Ruud's service is better than his results should be. If I
Is that just because he's got ultra elite placement? Why is it? Because I've had the same thought. How does he do it?
ultra what? Sorry.
Is it the placement? Oh, there we go. 2nd break point saved, and we're back at deuce.
Yeah, I think it's just a competent serve. Like it's
Yeah.
The placement is could be better, but it's not horrible. It's like it's pretty decent, and he's got some speed on it too. It's not, and his toss is quick enough that like even if you'd have to really catch the timing to see if there's any difference in the ball toss if he's going like wide or center.
Alcaraz with the shank there
on the forehand. Yeah, that's the one that I look at. Like I feel like Alcaraz tends to make a lot of his forehand. I think is a bit of the portrait of his season. You know, like he's either hitting it perfectly on the spot, like with variety, or he's shanking it. It's
when you can do stuff that no other player can do. It's a gift and a curse. You know, Monfils is a great example of somebody who can hit every shot there is, and sometimes gets too creative, or sometimes relies too much on that shot making rather than a consistent and steady game plan. You know, certainly Alcaraz can make shots that Ruud can't, but Ruud is going to be solid, steady, replicable game plan every single time, and always going to maintain a certain floor to his level. And another deuce.
Yeah, he's liking that slice out wide serve so far. Ruud. Want some easy service points.
Yeah. Willing to test that forehand a little bit for Alcaraz. I think that goes to Andre's point, which is on the faster surface, can go for it a little bit more against him, make him work.
Yeah. And I think Ruud likes that. Like he will like that forehand cross exchange.
Oh.
Oops. Yeah.
Oh, Alcaraz. Oh, that's a bad miss. That angle that he hit on the cross-court forehand was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he plays a lot of games like this, Alcaraz.
Yeah.
On that 2nd break point, he just wanted to hit a very cute backhand angle and missed it. And then this one here, I wonder, I'm sure he's going to fix these games. Like he's going to improve his percentage in the future.
Yeah.
And how is going to look like once he gets to that point?
I feel really like Alcaraz more than anybody else. The other person almost doesn't exist. Yeah, he is playing against himself. He is in complete control of whether he will win or lose the match overwhelmingly. Sinner's the only other player there at this point, and I hate to say this, I don't even think Djokovic is I think he's a notch below the two of them at this point. You know, he's in the 1B category now.
Yeah, Djokovic is probably finding it harder to keep up with these guys just because of time. He's turning 38 next year, I believe. So, or is he 38 now? But
it also seems like he's lived such a hyper regimented, you know, relatively focused life, and now he's starting to let himself have a little fun. He's going to play basketball. He's in the club, we all fam, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's true. Yeah. I remember this one interview that he gave after winning the. I'm not sure if it was after winning like right away the Australian Open 2012, the 6-hour final against Nadal, but it was something about he let himself eat like just one single little square of like chocolate, and that was it.
That's right.
And it was just like, yeah, and that was, and he was saying like, this is, I'm not gonna eat another one like for years or something. This is the price we pay for like winning these kinds of matches.
That just shows the mentality that it takes at that level. You know, for me, even if I had the talent, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, I'll be 30 in the world, eat chocolate sometimes.
And I think letting people know too. He knows, like, he intimidates some players by letting them know that he's doing stuff no one will ever, do.
Yeah, he's willing to go further than you are willing to
Exactly.
go in pursuit of the goal. It's true.
Yeah.
By the way, Alcaraz started with a 220-kilometer first serve that he missed, but still, like, the speed on that. I was just checking his maximum speed in Paris when he played, and it's around that.
Yeah, I've read from someone that his service motion had some tweaks over the year, and then just kind of getting back to what it sort of used to be.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think he probably had some issues with serve and the forehand. I think it was this year as well that he and Sinner skipped Rome, and Alcaraz played Madrid because he wanted to, but he was not fit for that. So I think his forehand kind of took a little bit of a hit as well, and he may still sort of like be getting back to his old consistency, his old willingness to be aggressive. So it can be a bit of a change as well. So he definitely wanted to peak for the slams. Wasn't able to do much of that in the U.S. Open, unfortunately. But yeah, natural surfaces guy doing natural surfaces things.
So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, because obviously we're talking about the year-end finals here. But who's the favorite going into Australia as the season's coming to a close?
Sinner.
Sinner?
Yeah.
I agree.
Does Djokovic have one more in him, do you think?
I think he does have one more. He needs a little bit more of like an opening. It's not like he's just a favorite. I think it's like Federer 2019. If that kind of should have been his Wimbledon. So in a way, he was playing some of his best tennis as well. But yeah, I do feel like it's a bit something similar to that situation. Maybe even worse. I think Federer is even like better, I would say, in 2019.
Alcaraz getting very cute there with that dropper attempt and questioning the call, which was then corrected. So in the chat, Super Dave was listening to Renee Stubbs' podcast earlier, and the co-host Caitlin Thompson said, compared to David Beckham, Casper Ruud has a little bit more junk in the trunk. And Dave wants to know if that's wartime level insensitivity. I guess I'd say, for one, I think by most accounts, it's a compliment to say that somebody's caked out. A little weird, a little sexually aggressive in the workplace, but I don't think it's meant to be an insult. So I think it's a slightly different situation. Andre and Gokop, what do y'all think?
I think context matters in this in this issue. Sexism doesn't go like both ways in society, so having that in mind is important. But I think there's a bit of an laxness, a bit of an insensitivity here. Although, in the grand scheme of things, how much Ruud is gonna feel bad about it, and that's important to think about. But yeah, I'm not so comfortable with the language in that podcast overall. They can get very, they're talking between friends tonality in there.
Yeah, I feel like I would disagree in terms of, I feel like sexism does exist both ways, but I would say definitely the women do get the short end of the stick way more often. Although I think there's just the agreement here is just really the language is like chill, please. There are other ways you can say this.
It's just a weird comp.
Yeah.
Like, why David Beckham? Like, what does David Beckham have to do? Like, David Beckham is not, to my knowledge, a tennis player, right? Like, when they say bend it like Beckham, they're not talking about a kick serve. It's a weird comp.
Yeah, I mean they're close. I bend it like Beckham and kick serve. Nice.
Oh, okay. So look at
Thank
that.
you.
So Super Dave says she was saying that Beckham would look better in the suit that Casper was wearing because his butt
Oh.
wasn't as big. Okay, so this is bad.
Okay,
This
yeah,
is-
it's not
this
good.
is- Okay, no, it's just like you're literally saying that this guy's butt's too big. Okay, you can comment on his actual fashion sense in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, let's put it this way: constructive criticism. This isn't it.
Is there like a perception of Ruud as not being fit enough?
Probably.
I
I
never
think
heard
Ruud is
that.
like one of the fittest players on tour. Right?
Yeah. Oh, my mic is doing weird stuff here. There we go. Am I back?
You're back.
Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it just kind of like turns off mid stream.
Yeah, but just to finish this conversation, because I don't really want to go too much into it, the critique of a thing was way worse.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hot mic, which is like, it's a tough situation, but it's not really good to say that no matter whether you think you're mic'd up or not. I did see that at the start of the Indie Erotic podcast, he Wartime addressed it. You know, it seemed to give a heartfelt apology. Everybody makes mistakes, but yeah, not a good look for.
Yeah, no, it's sad.
I also think, just to kind of move back to tennis, there are so many great players and so many great games and personalities. It feels like a waste for commentators to fixate on those things. When it's like, I'd rather talk about the outrageous slight serve that Ruud hit at 30 all in that game. You know, like that's more interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the kick serve that followed it.
Yeah,
he's mixing it up well, and this, it's very early. Good job for holding 2 times in a row, but still he has to do a lot of thinking against a player like Alcaraz because he was just waiting inside the baseline. Alcaraz, that's a lot of pressure for the server.
Yeah. Look at how deep that court is. Imagine if this was clay, how far back they could be playing.
Yeah, it is. I've been there once. I watched Zverev play Berrettini.
Oh, wow.
The year Sinner got in as an alternate for Berrettini, I think, because he got injured. And I think I was there for the match that Berrettini, pulled out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, watching Zverev on this court, you can really feel how deep the court is because he was just way behind.
Yeah.
Of course.
I like that Roland Garros gives folks a little bit more space. I think that's an interesting wrinkle to the game. I think some of particularly the 250 courts, are a little cramped. I want the players to have as much space to play as far back if they want, because I think it's a legitimate strategy, and it feels like an infringement to get all up close.
Yeah. And no line umpires to bother Zhang or other players if they have to go back. The electronic line calling gear.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a return from Ruud to create a little opening 30 love here. Sorry, am I ahead again?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
All right, I'm gonna.
What kind of stream you got? I'm on Tennis TV.
I'm on Tennis TV as well.
Wow.
When the 30 love point is about to start, let me know and I'll restart the stream then.
And right now.
Okay. What are we seeing out there? What are our takeaways so far?
Second serve.
Oh. Yes. Now I just watched the
man.
return.
Yeah. Can't believe that return went in. He felt like it was so he got stuck in that side, but he just created enough space to hit it flat and deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ruud's body language overall. He didn't come here to just, it's not like his Wimbledon body language. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
You don't play golf on indoor hard courts.
Thankfully. Yeah.
This really is a court that should be favorable conditions to Medvedev. And yeah, Dave is correct. He was not having fun out there.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened because he looked all right. He looked calm. It was servers were holding, and then all of a sudden 3 double faults.
Yeah.
In that game, and he lost it.
There is not much worse than when you're on the courts. That first double fault comes, a second one, and then at that, I don't know about y'all, I am in my head after that second double fault. Even after the missed serve after a double fault, scary.
Same. I think I'm always in my head, so it covers it.
Alcaraz here playing a little bit of a sloppy service game.
Ooh, yes. The feet did not move for that backhand.
Yeah. It's a long season. Long season.
Yeah.
Do we think lightning might strike twice with Alcaraz's little brother, who, it's my understanding, is a very, very solid player?
I don't know. Normally, when you see brothers playing well, it's normally a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
Siblings, like a classic Marat Safin, Dinera Safina.
Yeah.
But getting a Serena Williams, Venus Williams situation, are we looking at this maybe?
You get more of like a Stefanos and Petros situation.
Or
than
Djokovic
Venus
and all of
Serena.
his brothers.
Wait, how many brothers does Djokovic have?
Like 3 or 2. Yeah.
That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough, being the other Djokovic.
And both are tennis players.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess if
didn't
you're
even
both
know.
tennis players.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So
Yeah.
and I think that's with a lot of players, because the family, they want to have economies of scale. So you put all of your kids, if you're going to invest in it, and hope that one is going to come out a pro.
You would assume it would favor the youngest brother or your youngest sibling, right? Because then they get to play up their entire lives, and they've got somebody to learn from, good habits, etc.
Ruud with a break of serve, by the way.
Yeah.
Alcaraz's forehand is not where it needs to be.
That was a confident backhand down the line to try Alcaraz's forehand from Ruud.
I don't know if you guys know this. I am actually the worst predictor of outcomes of anybody in the Talking Tennis universe. I have a historically weak prediction average. And so when I said straight sets, that basically guaranteed this thing was going 3. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I still think it's going to be straight because, Alcaraz is like second gear right now. And he might just throw in flames when you least expect it.
We'll see.
There was a forehand in this rally that I could swear was out in the 15 one.
That did look a touch long.
15 love,
didn't it?
Yeah, I watched both matches yesterday, and I saw some points where I would have gone crazy, like Ostapenko, questioning the electronic line calling.
Yeah.
Both drop shots, I think. One from Sinner, one from Medvedev.
Alcaraz, he's just spraying it a little bit. And it's not like he's missing always on outrageous shots. He's missing routine balls a little bit more than normal than I'm used to seeing him.
Yeah.
Oh, Gokub Nurlan says that you have the title of the worst predictor. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't even predict that much because I'm afraid of that title.
Give us a prediction then. Bring it on, man.
Yeah, I said Alcaraz in straights already for this very easy to predict match, I thought.
Let's
Can we get a bonus prediction, Gokub?
Oh, I'm thinking of what kind of bonus.
I'll throw one out there. Guaranteed break coming from Alcaraz here. Secretly mortgage your parents' house, take that money, bet it on Alcaraz breaking this game. Absolute lock of the century.
Yeah.
You're just pulling me down. I'm going to go some bonus prediction as well. I'm going to go for the score. I'm going to say 7-6, 6-2.
Oh, okay.
And that will be my last stream on this channel.
Okay, Alcaraz with the break point here. That's a great comment from Sean Power that Alcaraz's slow starts are unusual. It's like he needs a spark or something to get him engaged sometimes. Totally agree. Because it really, there's no one he can't beat. So sometimes he's sort of playing against himself. He's trying out new things. And once he gets down, he's kind of gets into, forget this, I'm going to step it up mode.
Yeah, and that spark is being provided by Ruud right now, I think, with 2 unforced errors in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Alcaraz does need to, when they say hot and cold for Sinner and Alcaraz, I think it's a I can understand this. Like Alcaraz really needs to be hot in order to play. He needs the crowd. He needs that energy. He needs to like feel like he's part of something.
What a rally they're having here, by the way.
Wow.
There was a backhand that I could have sworn went wide.
Me too. I just saw it and I really thought it was out. But I can see that going in actually. Like if I wouldn't be surprised in the obviously Hawkeye would show that it was in, but yeah.
What's the officiating format for the year-end finals? Is it all electronic, or are there line judges for this?
There is all electronic, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
But I think that's probably like they obviously have a team of people in the back, like verifying the system and checking in the marks and stuff.
Faults and other things like that. I didn't know that there's another person watching inside to call footfalls.
Oh yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Alcaraz with another dropper attempt here at deuce and just not quite getting it done. His touch is a little bit off today. Let's see if he can find that. Oh no, net got in the way. Super Dave says, I know that feeling personally. My like go-to exclamation on a tennis court is, who puts a net there?
Yeah, Alcaraz started going back deep, returning deep in this game for the second serves.
We've crossed the 5-minute mark. I'll tell you the thing that's holding Ruud back. The shorts are too long. I'm a big short guy. I find it a little bit nicer when I play. Skies out, thighs out. And I think that if he were to make that change, I think it would give him superpowers and he'd have a better year next year. Are you guys short guys? You like a good long short, medium short? What's the
for
right
me,
line?
these are not long shorts. For me, these
They're
are
medium.
optimal length shorts.
Yeah, they're regular. They're not like 2008 Nadal shorts.
Oh yeah, and the
early
capris.
Nadal shorts. Yeah, but I do like the short shorts. I feel like they're nice. It's a nice for a change as well. It's just the same length of shorts the entire time. So
yeah,
getting guys like Runa and Mahach playing with those very short shorts is very interesting. It's very cool to see. Although they do pull him up. Yeah.
yeah. They take them short and they make them shorter. Those might be a little short even for me.
Misses that backhand return, Alcaraz.
Yeah.
And Alcaraz kind of needs to step it up a bit. It's just getting upset at this point. He needs to, start feeling it. Oh, rubber band as a vibration dampener. That's as grassroots as it gets.
That's a great dampener. Easy to replace as well.
Yeah.
I want to know how many different brands of rubber bands he went through to pick that specific rubber band. Are there levels to the rubber band goodness as a dampener? 7-minute game.
I do like Ruud's forehand. I think it's like such a just as I said it, like he misses it. Obviously, I'm a little late.
Yeah. I was gonna warn you.
Yeah. But I like it. I feel like it's a shot that you can rely on, and it's got a huge net clearance. He can be aggressive with it as well. He does get held back by his backhand, so that's why I feel like he gets a few of his problems come from that side. Feels like he needs to protect it as well.
Alcaraz showing why, even when he's not world number one, he's, in my mind, is the most talented player playing right now with that net game. He just handled that volley so easily.
Excited to see it when it comes on.
That's
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're not tennis channel, so we have to work with what we've got.
We're way more entertaining than Tennis Channel. They might have a synced up stream, but they are boring. Oh, an absolutely courageous shot. Like, okay, we get it. We get it.
Yeah, the word sensational has lost its meaning. I can't.
There was I think it was during Stockholm. There was a tennis TV highlight reel where one of the commentators kept saying "brilliant" after every shot. It was just it wasn't brilliant. So yeah, maybe he was playing like with brilliant strategy, but like I mean, you say it like twice per set at most.
Yeah.
So
The state of tennis commentary generally is not brilliant. It's why I was actually so excited when talking tennis became a thing. It was always so cool to get to be a contributor. Like, you know, the rules and the way that they do the old school commentating, it's not a good fan experience. It's boring. It's stuffy. You know, there are long, awkward silences. They use the word brilliant 400 times in an episode. Like, there is room for much more innovative commentary, and it's so cool that Talking Tennis is doing it. And I love to be a part of it with y'all. And I'm so grateful for John for making all this happen.
Same here.
Yeah. I would say I do enjoy some silence at times during comments because it just kind of helps me just refocus a little on the match.
Yeah.
But also it might be a product of the fact that they keep not saying as many interesting things as there could be said. But sometimes back, you know, in the past when I used a little bit more of the unofficial streams, if you will.
Yeah.
You get some of the other streams in other languages, and the Russians, they don't stop talking for a second. Arabics also don't stop talking, but at least they got a lot more energy going on.
Yeah, yeah. This is a crazy long game.
Yeah. It's been 28 minutes already, this match.
To play 4 games.
Yeah.
So I want to come back to the rubber band thing. So Dave's recommending specifically rubber bands from organic asparagus bunches. That tracks. It's a good thick rubber band without being like too thick. I could see how that gets the job done. Plus, it encourages you to buy asparagus, which is healthy and good for you, like Novak Djokovic might eat. All right, and Ruud emerges victorious here in the longest game that I've watched in a minute. How many deuces was that?
It's probably like some 5 or 6.
Sheesh.
Maybe less actually. As we obviously
2 unreturned serves to finish the game.
Yeah.
That's gotta feel good. Yeah, I'm expecting Alcaraz's aggression to go up because I think either it was a break point or deuce where he didn't go through the ball with his forehand and he was doing the Nadal move already back in like behind the baseline. I don't know how much he wants to do that because he can finish points at the net very easily and he has fun with it. So I think we might see it changing.
Yeah, it does seem like he's had great success when he's gotten forward and little spotty from the baseline. So maybe we'll see him chipping in and charging, coming in a bit more. The drop shot has not really been falling for him so far, has it?
I only seen him try it once. So if he's trying it, he's still looking for the best moments to get it done. Man, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with camera technology, but every time they're showing scenics of the city, I can almost guarantee you this is an unedited image.
Wow. What a shot.
It looks, there's no contrast in that image.
Yeah, I don't get anything because I love the image because untrained eye completely.
Yeah,
it's just like the actual shot that is great. the city is unbelievably pretty, but it's just the image could have a lot more pop to it.
Are you a photographer or a videographer in your free time?
Videographer, yeah.
Really cool. Do you record yourself when you play?
Mostly on iPhone.
Yeah.
But yeah. I haven't played in ages, so didn't get much of a chance to try out new equipment and stuff.
Alcaraz with a pickup drop shot and volley attempt there, unsuccessful.
I feel like he had the space, but it's got to be a tough shot.
Yeah.
He looks a little discombobulated right now.
See, I need this thing to go too because I gotta get to work at like 10 here. I'm already sort of ignoring it. This is the challenge, when it starts at the beginning of the workday rather than the end. It's easier to sneak out a little bit early than than just delay going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a pattern here. I think the last 2 matches I was on the channel, it was a player was up a set in the break, and then the other came back. So I don't want to say anything.
Come on, go Cal. Let's if we make opposite predictions, one of us will be right and break the curse. So I think we should just be like firing them off a million miles a minute.
Yeah, one has to be right?
Yes. Like prediction. After this point, guaranteed ace. I'm calling an ace right here. Do you feel that? I know I do. It's 15:30. Alcaraz is hitting an ace. I can feel it. And I already know that I'm wrong because now my stream is lagging behind what the score is showing us, and that would suggest an ace has not been hit if it is 15:40.
I'm calling not ace.
And somebody had the audacity to say you're the worst predictor. That's outrageous. Way to prove wrong.
Is Alcaraz really going to fall down a double break? That's tough, eh?
That's 8 backhand unforced errors already.
Yeah.
Man, Alcaraz is not looking very convincing out there. Just doesn't look like he knows what to do or what he's doing even.
It's got to be hard to be so successful at such a young age because like what is exciting? Like he's already won 3 of the 4 majors. He's won most of the big tournaments already. Like he's made a gazillion dollars. He was getting paid twice as much for being in Saudi Arabia for the Six Kings tournament. Does he care? I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I think he's a competitor, so I believe that he does. But if he cared a little bit less about this one than some of the majors, I can't say I'd blame him.
Yeah, I think at this point, like I always see like the ATP finals as a statement win in a sense. Like if you're the top 8 people, like you kind of you definitely want to make sure that you at least don't look stupid out there.
Yeah.
If you're obviously like if you've reached like big 3 levels of success, like you don't really care because like that like it's like I'm gonna win the Grand Slams anyway. But if you're Alcaraz, this is still a little bit up in the air. Even though he's won a Grand Slam for the past 3 seasons, he's won at least one. But it'll still like with Sinner coming up and like Alcaraz is not even number 2 in the world right now. It's Zverev. You still don't want to like. You want to at least like show that if you're playing badly or if you're losing, is really because you have that confidence that next season you are still the king.
Yeah.
And that's not really the case for Alcaraz, in my opinion. So
what is going on with so somebody put in the chat, do we think that the cold is a factor? It sure looks like it is. Like he looks off ever since that long game at 3-1. I mean, he basically didn't put up a fight for the rest of the set.
It could be. He could be suffering from a lingering cold. And it's tough to play when you're just coming back from like recovering because your body's just still not moving right. Yeah, he didn't even reach for the first serve. That was an ace for the set point.
Yeah, 15 unforced errors in 7 games is not going to get it done at this level. And also, earlier I thought he was having better performance than that. 3 for 6, not going to get it done either. You got to pump that number up big time. Decent first serve make rate, 63%.
Ruud takes a one-sided 6-1 set versus Alcaraz. Damien in his living room in Poland. It doesn't matter anyway.
0 for 5 on break points for Alcaraz, though. So the fact he generated 5 break points, like he can certainly get back in this. That was a unconvincing end of the set, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
I
first
do-
serve percentage is at 47.
Yeah, it's bad.
With Ruud 72.
And he's not winning either. 43% first serve one, 38% second serve one. And you can see also Alcaraz is not really giving up much of a challenge on Ruud's second serve either. He's winning 60% in this behind the second delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he won only 4 points out of 10, and I can remember the ones he lost. Like they were returns, not in the court.
Maybe Alcaraz is just not an indoor guy. Because for me, I don't personally enjoy playing on indoor courts. Something gets lost. The magic gets lost indoors.
Yeah, but I mean against Ruud, you have to, believe in yourself a bit more.
Yeah,
indoors, especially.
Yeah.
Similar profile, heavy forehand.
Yep.
I was thinking to your earlier question, like how much he cares about the event. I think what Andre was saying makes sense, that these are top guys, so it's a confidence booster to win against them. But also, I think to prove yourself on every surface in every condition should be a motivating factor for a guy like Alcaraz, because he won the US Open, French Open, Wimbledon, so he did the 3 surfaces, and indoor must feel like another locked door to open. And I think Nadal was in the same situation, like earlier in his career, throughout his career, because he has only 1 indoor title back in 2005. But he was losing against, now I checked his Tour Finals record early on. He lost against James Blake, okay, his first year, Federer, Davydenko, Djokovic. So like guys who can really play indoors.
Right, right.
Still respectable, I think.
Yeah.
And then he
would say
improved.
probably the go on.
And then he improved, but it took him a few years, I think like 3-4 years, to find his style of playing indoors.
Yeah.
So I think that can be like the route for Alcaraz, the path.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just feel like some of the wins, like he could have been Davydenko, he could have been Ferrer. But like especially Davydenko, I would say, like if the day is right, there's not many people who could have gone past him. Even the great ones like would get frustrated against him. Like just this level of hitting was insane.
Yeah, that Federer match in 2009, that was crazy from Davydenko.
Yeah.
But just thinking about where they grew up playing, I don't know what percentage of the time Ruud was playing indoors, but I have to imagine at least a third of the year plus he was playing indoors. Yeah. Whereas Alcaraz probably hardly at all. So just from a reps perspective, Ruud should have an indoor advantage. Oh, beautiful swinging volley from Ruud there.
Yeah, I think you're right. As a kid, I remember reading one of his interviews. Like the weather's not so great in Norway, so he got a lot of indoor practice.
Yeah.
Whereas south of Spain is another story.
South of Spain is where all the UK people go for vacation.
So that was a love game from Alcaraz, right? In that first game.
Yeah.
Good start.
And Ruud is going on the same path right now. It's definitely a thing for Ruud in the sense that, like, if you just want to set 6-1, like you don't want to give Alcaraz the feeling that he can just break early and get right back on track to like being competitive. You just want to like just keep closing the door time and time again.
Yeah. Ruud can't play tight. He's got to keep the aggression up. He's gonna. You're exactly right. He cannot let Alcaraz back in this. He can't even give an inch, because once Alcaraz gets that, he could go on a roll and he could win 12 games straight.
Yeah, I think he should, and he is tolerating his forehand shanks as well, because he wants to go for speed, high power. So high risk, high reward game on the forehand side, especially for Ruud.
Alcaraz does not have his usual move. He does look a touch sluggish out there. The way that he didn't move. I mean, the point was over. He probably wasn't going to get there, but prime Alcaraz on an on day doesn't just walk away in the middle of a point, even if the other guy is going to clearly hit a winner. He's trying to make something happen. So I think going back to the chat earlier, I think it might have something to do with having a cold. If he can find a way to pull it out, even when he's sick, because he's Alcaraz, but clearly we're not getting his A game right now.
Yeah.
And those second serve returns are still not in. He's missing them, and he's trying a lot of things.
Yeah,
this is one thing I don't know if he's going to change in the future. The pace of trying new things. He's constantly changing them, and it's very quick.
Yeah, and Alcaraz should try to. He used to have like a bit of a bread and butter, like when he played like mostly like in his 2022 season. He had his. I have a big forehand and I have his slice, so he would work his way up to the middle of the court and be able to have a drop shot, as players would like be farther down, farther back. And now his forehand is not necessarily, pushing people back as much.
Yeah,
and his drop shot obviously lost his touch because he's just not necessarily always as well placed. He's just It feels like his strategic thinking, it's his tactical thinking, is a little lost at the moment.
Yeah, that might have been the worst drop shot I've seen from him all his career.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a player who changed their mind mid shot. The way that he kind of broke his wrist and terrible attempts.
A player who's thinking, very dangerous, not in flow.
There we go, with a nice close the net there.
I haven't seen Carlos celebrate yet, after any point. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's missed it, but yeah, it's doesn't seem to be, too excited.
It's been pretty limited.
And that might be the opener for him, because he didn't play a big fun point like that so much. Maybe after one, because just as you said it, he started shaking his racket. Maybe that is coming. That's building up.
One thing that I so love about Alcaraz as a player is, and he's open about this, he plays better when he's having fun. When he lets himself, be happy on the court, kind of be free out there, he plays better. I think for any club level player, that's a huge takeaway. The best player in the world is trying to have fun out there. So if you're, an adult recreational tennis player, throwing your racket, throwing your hat, cursing after a miss, whatever, you're doing it wrong. Be like Alcaraz. Have fun out there. That's the point. If he can have fun with the stakes of what's going on with him, we can all have fun too.
Yeah, the other side of that coin for him, I think that he needs to work on is, you can so quickly tell when he's not having fun.
Yeah.
When he's panicked, when he's kind of lost. It doesn't happen that much, but I think his opponents can see it, that he doubts himself or he's questioning his tactics.
Yeah.
But you're right. When he starts smiling, you get scared.
He needs to find some more, I'm not saying that he's not professional, but he needs to find more he needs to be able to bear more the boring side and just kind of like go for if it's working, don't change it type of situation.
He makes things that should be boring exciting sometimes, but like, what, an early round match in a major, like, it shouldn't be exciting. Roll the guy,
just get the job done and that's it.
I had the pleasure of seeing Kim Clijsters play at 2002 Wimbledon back in the day, and I think the match that I saw was about 43 minutes, and the entire time it could not have been more clear. Her goal was to get off that court as quickly as possible. Not a single mental lapse, not a single wasted movement, not a smile to somebody in the crowd distraction. It was go out there, dominate, be done. You don't quite see that from Alcaraz as of yet.
Did you say 2002?
Yep.
Wow, nice. And she was very young back then.
To
have that discipline at that age is also like very commendable.
It was remarkable. Yeah. That was a great Wimbledon. It was the year after my favorite player at the time, Goran Ivanisevic, had won in what was the greatest run maybe ever in tennis history as a wild card.
Yeah,
121 in the world.
Yeah. He set the aces and double faults record for one tournament, I believe.
Until that match.
Yes, yeah. That really skewed it, didn't it? Was
Yeah.
it Isner Mahut, right? Was the
Yeah, that changed the rules of the game.
Yep.
Great serving from Ruud. It continues.
Yeah.
Rublev's coach watching in the stands.
So Dave cited two examples of players not having fun while playing tennis. Iga and Rublev agreed, not fun in very different ways. You know, Iga, it seems like mentally can torment herself. Rublev physically torments himself, and that is scary and sad. And I think, you know, clearly he doesn't want that to happen on the court.
Yeah.
And
Speaking
I'm sure
of Rublev, his coach is right there watching this match.
Yeah, I'm sure that Rublev is spending a lot of money on some kind of program to not do that anymore, but it hasn't worked yet, and I am rooting for him to figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, man, I feel like snap. I stopped my stream. Yeah.
Get ready for a big forehand from Alcaraz here.
Just watched Ruud's ace. Ready for that.
Same here.
Now.
Same here.
All right, I'm gonna pause my
I
stream.
do feel like Rublev, I would say if I were his coaches, like, listen, if you feel the urge of hurt yourself, smash the racket.
Yeah.
it's better to you know, screw up with an object rather than yourself. Like, yeah.
Do you know what a head case you have to be for your coach to be like, you know what, man, just smash the racket. That's a better outcome than what you're gonna do. Break your racket into smithereens.
I would almost imagine like some juniors would need some of that advice.
Yeah.
Even though the juniors are pretty quick to break their rackets, as far as I hear, I don't watch much of junior stuff, but yeah.
So I never understood that because, you know, when I was a junior, I certainly didn't have a sponsor. I didn't have free gear. My parents were like, we're not going to buy you another racket if you break it, so don't. So I didn't much. But there's a player near where I live, you know, kind of nationally ranked junior. I think they're 15 or 16 years old. They get 28 rackets a year from their sponsor.
That's crazy. Was he just incredibly good? Is that what it was?
Yeah, like they're like, yeah, UTR 10 as a 15-year-old or something. But so it's like, okay, well, if you get 28 rackets, smashing 5 of them is not like a big thing.
Yeah.
So I could understand how it's easier to justify if you're getting free shit or stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would normally just throw my racket into the onto the back tarp in the back of the court or something. It would just like drop down and not necessarily get any issues. The only problem is that you start like tearing away the grip.
Yeah.
And that also costs money. And I'm no Gasquet, so I cannot really just redo it in the middle of a match like that. So
I'll do the thing where you drop it and then you like throw your arm, so you get the satisfaction of having thrown a racket, but you don't actually do any real damage to it. So just drop it and then do the motion of throwing a racket.
Yeah.
Andy Roddick did a great video on how to throw a racket without breaking it, and that was where I learned that technique from.
Yeah.
Pretty uneventful second set so far. Just, you know, everybody holding serve, literally and metaphorically. Alcaraz may be finding his groove a touch, though.
Yeah.
He started going way back on the first serve returns as well. He had that amazing forehand return, and then he missed the other one. And then he went to the side next to his box, and I just tried to pick up if Ferrero was saying something, but he wasn't giving any tactics in, as far as I heard.
Seems like Alcaraz's forehand is like landing on like bigger targets as well. He's like trying to like put more spin, being aggressive more like in a tactical way, not necessarily just like bashing the ball, which is where most of his strength lies right now. You know, he is able to like just punch it, but it doesn't have the consistency, I would say, that Sinner has to keep doing this like time and time again. Though I really do like it when he has, you know, at least the confidence, like he's feeling good to like rip the forehands. I think that's when we know Carlos is at his best. But he needs to find that range before he can, you know, start flattening out and going for those forehands. I think it's that return serve that we saw like maybe the past game.
Yeah.
It just landed around the line. It's like kind of a Hail Mary shot in the sense like he just kind of wanted to try something new and see what happens. I think that's not necessarily like the best representation of like where he's at mentally right now, but at least he gave him something like, yeah, I can still do something like that. So, you know, at least like keep himself on track right now, believing that he can still come back.
Tennis is such a funny game. You know, we're 15 minutes into the set and it's 3-2, which is how long it took to play one single game, the most important game of the first set.
That's right.
Go Cup. Are we feeling more or less confident that this thing is going 2 sets at this point?
Less confident. I am because you know it's Alcaraz.
Yep.
How he's playing now is not an indication necessarily for the rest of the match. I think.
Yeah.
He might just find another gear. But yeah, like Andre was saying, like the body language is not still promising. It doesn't look like he's having fun on court.
Yeah.
So if he starts, you know, pulling some fun shots and starts smiling, because he started going for like charging the net in these 2 games. Nice point construction in that first point. He went back behind Ruud. He didn't go for a crazy placement, and then 2 good serves. So things are looking much better than the first set.
Yeah.
But let's see. Ruud isn't going anywhere either on his serve so far.
I missed this, but I believe that Jake Davies in the chat made a little Rihanna reference there with the "Come on, Ruud boy, can you get it up?" I think I remember that song. That was good. That was subtle. I missed that the first time. Well done, Jake. Assuming that was indeed the Rihanna song, and I'm not making that up.
I did see that. I thought it was that as well, but I couldn't sing it in my head properly, so I felt like maybe I was just imagining it.
You know, with Goff winning on the women's side and with Alcaraz squarely in this thing on the men, neither of them feels that young anymore or that new because they've been on the scene for several years at this point. She's only 20, he's only 21. This is an amazing time to be a tennis fan. The next generation is here. We've still got some folks from that poor generation between the big 3 and the new one on the men's side. But like there are so many players and personalities and games and styles. It's just I feel very lucky to be a tennis fan right now. I know there is some consternation about, oh, when the big 3 leaves, tennis isn't going to be as good. I think that's totally wrong. I think it's as good now as it's ever been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's go on.
They're very young. I was just gonna add that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no. I saw somebody posted like I'm not sure if it was on Reddit or Twitter, but it's like the first time like since 2010 that there's no player in the ATP final that is over 30 years old.
Oh, interesting.
The oldest guy is Medvedev at 28, I believe.
Huh.
And at the WTA finals, the 2 youngest players made it to the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also another good sign. And
how old is Zheng?
22.
22,
Huh.
I think.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that group of players, like born in 2000 to 2005, 2004 maybe, because they missed one of the most important years of their career, like 17, 18, because of COVID. And the next year they couldn't go like rocket in their rankings because of the freeze. Yeah. So it was not as easy, you know.
Tough start for that. Yeah, that whole generation. Alcaraz with another drop shot attempt here. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, just saw it.
Yes.
It's like he's close. I mean, top of the tape. He's just off by a couple inches there.
I don't think it was a bad idea either. Like Ruud was going all the way to the other side. He was like on full throttle.
Yeah.
So if he got there, which I think he might have, but he was not going to hit. Like, was unlikely to hit a good shot out of it. But Alcaraz just underplaying that a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alcaraz certainly, as Dave pointed out in the chat, constructing better points here. That was a really, really nice one there to set up a break point. Yeah. And the possibility of going 3, fellas, could be here for a bit. I don't care about work. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying till the end of the match. If I got to move a call or cancel something, whatever. This is too good.
That's the spirit.
This second set is picking up here. We're seeing some more winners, some longer points. We're seeing him kind of flex their muscles a little bit. This is great.
And a fist pump from Alcaraz.
Yep.
There we
It's
go.
the second in this game. He had one when he hit the volley winner off of a backhand pass down the line.
Even his celebrations, though, they don't look as happy as they normally do. Although you are starting to see a small smile from Juan Carlos Ferrero there after that break.
Yeah. Alcaraz finally looking like he found some confidence.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a relief game, this one was.
That touch volley is absolutely silly. That is an insanely difficult shot to hit, and he just made it look so easy.
Yeah.
Borderline Pete Sampras-esque, the king of the half volley.
Wasn't it? Wouldn't you say Federer is better?
Oh, see, this might be my American bias, but when we're talking half volleys, I'm Sampras all day.
Man, I feel like Federer could do half volleys from anywhere on the court and make them look like an oil painting of a backhand.
Yeah. There's got to be a compilation of like Federer half volleys and Sampras half volleys, and I'd love to put them side by side and just nerd out over tennis.
Yeah, I do feel like the past generation, the 90s generation, ending on the greats, Rafter and Ivanisevic and obviously Sampras. I feel like the one thing that they used to have, which is more necessary, that this generation doesn't really have, especially to do the serve and volley technique, the tactics, is the courage to jump into that forehand, into that volley. You will land on the ground like a Boris Becker and just like rolling back on his feet and just try to hit another one. Those guys were playing rallies at the net. It was just, they were insane. I mean, maybe it wasn't the best one. Like maybe it may have ended a few elbows. But it's still like something that like I find that players don't do in this day and age.
It was high octane tennis, and I guess I wonder how much that was. We just didn't know as much about the human body then as we do now.
Maybe.
And they were laying it on the line. But also, I look at the average career span, and when most of those guys minus Agassi retired, and like they were all basically cooked by the time they were 29, 30. Where now you get Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal have sort of reset the expectation. I worry that we won't see that kind of carefree, go for broke all the time style anymore, because I think more players are going to be pursuing that longer career now, which is a shame.
Darren Blanche.
Alcaraz just missed that first serve at 40-15. Oh, by about as much as I've ever seen him miss a serve, like 6 feet wide.
No, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm reminiscing on good old times on serve and volley. I really love this generation, but it's just a difference in the way that they approach the net, literally and figuratively.
I'm with you. I wish there was a touch more serve and volley, and I think we are going to see more and more of it. It's a high risk play, but the percentage, the win percent when you get to the net tends to be pretty good.
I think that might have been the first time Alcaraz hit like completely flat forehands in the match back to back.
Yeah, that's the sign for me that he's feeling it. He's feeling like
better.
He's 5'2", so it's as close as he can get now from a set. So
and
he's waking up
better. 78% first serves in the set from Alcaraz. I mean, Ruud also at 75%, but he faced just one break point, and he chose to hit a first serve like as a kick. I think it wasn't even a second serve.
Yeah.
That was like 30 kilometers below his average first serve. Yeah, I think that was a first serve. Just too conservative in that break point. And then Alcaraz already 5-2 up.
Yeah. It's nothing against Ruud, but I feel like if there is a moment, there's a good player for Alcaraz to face first in his group, it would be him.
Yeah.
Because he would have some of that time that he's having now to, get back in the match and try some some different things, having the time to readjust his forehand and his serve, his net game even. Because Ruud is not going to make much of a difference in the way that he plays. Like he's not going to change things up that much. So
Yeah, that Rublev match is not going to be easy for Alcaraz.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun one though. So, do we think it's all coming down to Alcaraz center in the final? What's our read here?
I don't want to put Zverev.
Yeah,
not in contention. Like he's good, and these conditions are really good for him.
Yeah,
but I would still put Sinner above Zverev.
I think Zverev Sinner might be a more likely final.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zverev really likes playing here in these conditions. 2-time champion, beat Alcaraz here in the group stage last year.
I saw on Twitter somebody asked a question. Is Zverev the best player ever to not win a major? And in my head, reflexively, I was like, no way. So I got to Googling. I was like, what about Nikolai Davydenko? What about some of these names from olden times? And look, Zverev's got a pretty compelling case to make as the best player who's never won a major. With his performance at the year-end tournament, with all the Masters that he's won, with how deep he's gone in majors, like his total number of semis without winning one is really, really high. Yeah. What do y'all think?
The best player to never win a major is Marcelo Rios because he was the world number one.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of like it's my end of discussion argument, but yeah, I feel like Zverev. Yeah,
let's pull us up.
I have a much less rational for my end of argument. For me, it's Nalbandian because I adored his backhand.
Yeah.
And he beat everyone in the same tournament: Federer, Djokovic, Nadal. Yeah. So for me, it's like
I thought of that guy too. I think it's Zverev fumbled so much on the Grand Slam level that I find it so hard to say it's him, because he does just he's a good player, but if you don't have what it takes on the Grand Slam level, it's not against just the top players. He was struggling, all the time against basically everyone. Like now he seems to have found something of a groove, but it took so long.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other guys, they would go out constantly against Djokovic.
So hear me out on this.
Federer, yeah.
So Zverev has won an Olympic gold medal. He has lost in 5 sets in a major final twice. He has won the year-end championship twice. And I don't know how many Masters 1000s he's won, but I know it's a non-zero number. It's a good number. And Marcelo Rios has only won 5 Masters 1000s and lost in straight sets in 1 major final. I don't know. I think it might be Zverev still.
He has a really good case. Yeah, I was just half serious about Rios. Really, I know that he had one of those situations where he plays really well. He wins Madrid and Rome. In this case, Sunshine Double. He becomes world number 1. But if you guys don't get the reference, go watch Serena Williams Madrid Rome on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Alcaraz started rushing in this game a bit, but very nice serve and volley from Ruud at 15:30 behind his second serve. I really liked it.
Alcaraz at this point is making Ruud work for every single game, including on his serve. And it feels like he's just putting a little more pressure each game as the match is going on. In the second set, at least. I'm curious. So let's take Zverev out of it. Marcelo Rios is a great pick for one of the best players to never win a slam. Sounds like Davydenko has come up. Are there any other players that jump out to y'all in that conversation?
It used to be Nalbandian. People used to basically pick him.
I think the guys who were constantly top 10 during the Big 3 era,
like
Berdych, and then Nishikori maybe.
What about Dimitrov?
Ferrer.
I think Dimitrov lands in a category similar to Joe for Tsonga, where he has like a massively high peak. Could have probably won a Grand Slam. It just wasn't consistent enough for those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see the comment about Nalbandian about what could have been. I'm really thinking about like their peaks for this question, probably not like overall consistency, overall career achievements, because if you think like that, I mean, it's you have to rule out all of the guys that played during the peak of the Big Three era because they never made it to the finals of Grand Slams. So that was my way of thinking. But if you look at like results, yes, Zverev probably is the best case.
Yeah. Zverev also had a little bit of an issue when he tore his tendon like at Rolling Arrows like 2 years ago. So he missed a lot of time, and he also when he came back, he took a while before he reached a good level of play.
Yeah.
So it kind of cost him a few moments in his career, but yeah.
At a pretty pivotal time too, because it's like tail end of the Big Three, with Djokovic, Nadal hanging around but not at their peak, and Alcaraz and Sinner hadn't become Alcaraz and Sinner yet in that era.
Ooh, Ruud is taking things into his own forehand in this game. Aggressive point, that one, the first one. Love 15.
Unreturnable serve there from Alcaraz.
Looking at the score, Alcaraz is going to win this next point on my stream.
Sorry, Andre.
No, it's fine. I didn't even hear what you said. Sorry. I should be apologizing.
Nice body serve.
The body serve, a heavily underutilized tactic.
I listened to a podcast Sam Querrey was on, and he said he hated hearing his coach's advice of go body serve, and he always wanted to ace, out wide or tee. He always hated doing that. And I think the last question on the podcast was, what is one advice that you heard a lot that was like not so good, like you wish you did otherwise? And he still said body serve.
What I'm hearing is I should hit more body serves, and what I'm in my brain saying is I am not gonna try and hit more body serves. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it really doesn't look as cool as hitting an ace down the tee.
Ruud is making this very, very interesting here with a couple of ultra aggressive and very successful shots. I don't know where y'all are at in your stream, but holy moly!
Oh wow, great lob!
The lob,
yeah. I mean, that is a thing of
amazing.
Beauty.
Yeah,
2 break points.
If we're talking, by the way, most talented player in everyone in the Grand Slam, it's Monfils, and it's not even close. Monfils can do things that nobody else can do on a tennis court.
I will definitely have to agree with talking tennis, which I'm fairly sure it's Damien. Yeah, I definitely would put him there. Like, I agree with everything. Tsonga is an incredible player in terms of what he's able to achieve. I think when he was on fire, like even Federer, like was struggling massively against him. All the Big Three would just really have to find their best tennis. But yeah.
If we're making Big Three related predictions, I know that Runa has been sort of the one who's supposed to round out the Big Three with Alcaraz and Sinner. I think it is going to be Arthur Fils. Like I watched him in Winston-Salem the last 2 years in person, been following his matches, king of the 500. He just has what it takes. He's got the vision, he's got the shot making, he's got the talent, he's got the strength. That to me is the one right now that I think is the most likely to join Sinner and Alcaraz in that top tier. Is there somebody out there for y'all?
Who's that? Say the name again?
Arthur Fields, and forgive me if I'm butchering the pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him last year. I was at the Antwerp tournament. I watched him in the quarters. I think he lost in the semis, and I remember like watching him. I was like, if he's gonna be top 10 next year, he's gonna be top 5. I was so excited, but then like the consistency needs to. He's younger than Alcaraz. It's crazy how young these guys are. So I also think like he can get closer to that group of guys. I probably not their level, maybe closer to Rune, where he used to be.
I get that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of young guys. I'm not on top of all of them, so I would agree with you.
Yeah. Dave points out in the chat, Draper and Shelton. Draper seems like he's got the health of like a Victorian era child. And so maybe if he could learn to stop getting sick all the time and like deal with heat for a minute, he could get there. Shelton, he's got the raw talent for sure. And he's got just the right amount of kind of a jerk in him sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like not in an insulting way. Like he wants to win. He doesn't mind like going at somebody. I think Shelton's a good pick too for somebody who could get there.
Yeah, I think Shelton has it's hard for me to say much about Shelton because I feel like he's talented. I feel like he's got the forehand and the serve. He's definitely doing better in terms of he used to rely too much on his power and it kind of backfired on him a couple of times when the return came faster than the serve itself. But I just don't feel like he has got. I feel like he's going to land on the Tsonga Nalbandian bracket. Maybe same with Draper. Draper definitely has more, but like if he's able to like up his stamina and remain like keep up with the other guys, I feel like he could be a lefty in that conversation. But yeah, I feel like Shelton is just. I don't like to say this too much, but like one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than that, but like 1.5 dimensions instead of. Yeah.
Forgive me, John. It is going to be funny to watch Brits think that this is going to be Draper's year after year after year after year for the next decade for him to lose in the quarters and semifinals like 6 times in Wimbledon. There's always got to be that guy. The UK's always got to have that one guy to hang their hat on to win a Wimbledon. And there's not there. Murray was a fluke. It ain't happening with Draper.
That's because Murray's Scottish.
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
Nice hold from Ruud.
What were we saying? Like, what were we thinking? Tie break or Ruud just going to be able to run away with it?
I think Alcaraz gets it back here. That was a big serve to start us off at 5-all.
Ace to start this game.
Man, 1 of 6 break points. That's.
Alcaraz with another really sloppy drop shot attempt. The fact that he's hanging in there with Ruud this set at this level, I think shows how talented he is because he's not playing particularly well for him. He's missing serves by more than he normally misses. He's missing drop shots all left and right here. I think that he's going to find it and get us to a third set.
I mean, to be fair, he lost the first set 6-1, so
yeah,
that shows a bit of that as well.
Yeah,
they just show the stat drop shot errors 3. It doesn't make sense to me because it feels like I've seen him miss 10 times.
Yeah,
since the start of the match. This might be his worst match, from a drop shot level.
I haven't seen a single one go in.
Except that one really, really bad attempt.
That one.
Yeah.
It was almost like a top spin drop shot, something like last minute change on the grip.
And I recognize that doesn't get counted as a miss, but that is as close to a miss as a make can be for Alcaraz.
Yeah, there was a great piece on drop shots by Jeff Sackman, Tennis Abstracts, writer, like the guy who owns it, I think. He had all this data showing how Sabalenka's increased number of drop shots, especially during the clay season, was, I think, the second best, and she was winning many more points behind that strategy compared to her normal rate. And I think this match is taking Alcaraz's stats down.
Yeah,
because I mean that site is brilliant. They have everything.
Talking Tennis says tough to find drop shot spots on a court like this. They might be a little forced. I think there's some truth to that. On a court this fast, it's also tougher to get the touch, just with the pace of play. Players tend to be a little bit closer to the baseline. I think that's a good observation.
Yeah, and the weird thing is he keeps on going for it.
Yeah,
he might pull that tactic back a little.
Okay, wow, big moment there. So Ruud will be serving for the break point. Yeah.
Okay, I said 7-6-6-2 for Alcaraz. Complete opposite is about to happen.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, Alcaraz not feeling good at all, even if it isn't physical. It's definitely a letdown.
Yeah.
I thought Alcaraz was crying there. No, he just buried his face in a towel.
Yeah. So it's probably extremely disappointed with what's happening right now.
I mean, what I'm thinking is that Alcaraz probably needs to relocate to the States and just play on ultra fast hard courts in the off season, preferably near where I live, so I can watch him.
Win-win.
Yeah. Get me in touch with those people right away. Yeah.
Exactly. His agent is over there.
Yeah. More Hollywood opportunities. Just saying.
Yeah, more Netflix.
Yep.
I think his show is coming like next year. Netflix show.
Oh, is that gonna be good? I wanted to like Breakpoint so bad, and it just wasn't quite it.
Yeah, unfortunately
I had forgotten Breakpoint existed.
All right, here we go with Ruud serving for the match. And starting off with a very comfortable ace. Alcaraz barely even jumped for it.
That was a good serve, though. So
yeah,
he started the match with this serve. Not exactly the first point, but the first game he had a few of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, last 21 points, only 4 for Alcaraz.
Wow.
He was 2 points away from a double break in the set, Alcaraz, and look where we are.
Alcaraz answering back with a fantastic up the line backhand winner there. So he's not giving up, but yeah, the momentum is not with him at the moment at all. It just like the end of the second set where Ruud really went on a run, winning 9 of 10 points at one point. One of the things that's so electric about watching Alcaraz to me is it's just not over until the last point. If he were to go on a run here and win the next 8 games, would that surprise anybody? No. But also it could be over in 5 minutes. And there's just not that many players that I feel that way about consistently.
I'm not watching the stream with audio, so I don't know how the crowd is involved in this. But if they're being loud and being cheerful,
yeah,
maybe. But also, I haven't seen any interruption from the umpire, so it probably means that they're very, very neutral. They're probably all just, hoping for Sinner to come back again at some point.
That's my favorite part of the French Open when the umpires go, "S'il vous plaît."
Oh,
Here we
Ruud
go.
finally cooks a backhand long. Feels a forehand rather. Feels like his shots have been pretty, pretty on point. Like he hasn't really lost control of himself for the entire match, I would say.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity on that forehand. Got a great rally happening here. Alcaraz with a forehand in the net to set up this match point. He just can't miss as much as he's missing today if he wants to play, at this level.
That was a bad miss as well.
yeah.
It's just
The
middle
earlier
of the net.
backhand too.
Yeah.
2 points before, I think. Backhand into the middle of the net. Now forehand into the same spot.
Yeah. It's just his focus is completely, elsewhere.
Match point.
Comeback time starts now.
Oh, deuce. According to at least the score and the stream, it's
How do we get to this, deuce? With a forehand in the net from Ruud. Okay. DK Carlos versus Zverev. What are we thinking now?
Zverev.
Ruud moved exactly the same way. What's happening with the forehands?
If Carlos wins the set, is because Ruud gifted it. There's no way anymore at this point.
Yeah. Come on, Carlos, get us back in this. I'd like another set. The fans like another set. Give them their money's worth.
Big serve.
Big serve. Very nice.
All right. Carlos is going to need a second serve here on the second match point. Can he capitalize?
His return on the first match point was great. To the feet of Ruud.
Back to deuce, apparently.
Yep. Another great return from Alcaraz. Dictated the point well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a way better point. Way better.
Yeah.
I just feel like he had like a sliver of. He seemed to actually be focused on that one.
Yeah. These big points, Ruud is becoming, I think, more predictable on serve, going to the Alcaraz backhand.
This was such a this is the frustration of watching Alcaraz when he's not having an off day. Like, it's a third match point after another sloppy backhand miss that was far from unreturnable. And I don't know, maybe it's that he's sick today. Maybe it's the pace of the service. Maybe it's just not his day. But he's got to find a way to cut back on those needless errors. And there we have it.
Third match point.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. And then
Nice.
Easy.
Very nice.
The score on the stream just kind of froze, so I felt like this is an extremely long rally or what.
Then just a smooth ace from Ruud.
Alcaraz probably just gonna storm out of the court, like nothing to say, nothing to do. It's just
one of those days.
Yeah.
Hey, we all have bad days at the office. Alcaraz had a bad day at the office today.
I think Ruud told Alcaraz, "I hope you feel better." If I heard it correctly.
If I'm Ruud, I don't know that I love shaking hands or dapping up Alcaraz knowing that he's sick right now. Because if Ruud's sick for the next match, it's going to be like, oh, gee, I wonder where he got it from. Like, well.
Yeah. Alcaraz looks just, down on himself completely. If it's because he's slightly sick or just the loss doesn't help at all, like 6-1, 7-5 against a player who's obviously top 10, top 8, Casper Ruud, but it's a player that you would expect Alcaraz to, beat, if not convincingly, at least make way more of a match out of than what just happened today.
So I'm curious if Ruud is gonna pull like a 2022 when he reached the semifinals here. Lost 7 of 8 matches of his last 8 matches, Casper Ruud, and beats Alcaraz for the first time. I mean, even if Alcaraz was sick, Ruud wasn't in his best form coming into the tournament.
Let's talk about the most important number to me: 34 unforced errors from Carlos Alcaraz. That is not going to get it done in a 2-setter. He just cannot miss that much. 25 winners, so it's not like there weren't bright spots, but his ratio of offense to miss just wasn't nearly where it needed to be. He got his net win percentage up. At one point, he was only at 50%, 3 for 6, ended up finishing 9 for 15. So clearly, that shows him a bit of a playbook for how to get back there. But this is a pretty grim match, and so hopefully he wasn't feeling well, and that's all it was. Because if it was just the pace of the court isn't for him, or he's not in form, it's going to be tough to see him beating Zverev. If he gets a little healthier, maybe we'll get a good match. I think somebody pointed out it might be as late as Friday, and that would give them time to recover. So I hope that that's the case.
Yeah. Not much to say. Yeah, just have to wait and see. Ruud reaching the final in 2022 was an interesting result, but he had reached the semis the year prior, so seems to be comfortable playing there. Like knows the conditions, knows what it takes.
Yeah,
knows a lot of players probably get a little bit more cooked by that time of the year as well. So yeah, he's definitely fresh, having not done so well in the past couple of tournaments. So yeah, maybe he's a contender to reach the semis again.
Yeah, I mean that winner unforced error numbers for Alcaraz was looking better in the second set, and I think he served for the set, right? So if he closed it there, maybe we're watching another type of Alcaraz in the decider. But I credit to Ruud for staying in there in that game. He started. I remember he started that first point in that returning game with very aggressive forehands, and then that kind of set the tone for that game when he broke back. And then Alcaraz kind of disappeared again, like in the first set, lost so many points in a row. But yeah, good for Casper, first win over Alcaraz.
Remind me, what was the head-to-head for them coming into this?
4-0, I think.
It's 4-0, but if you look in some certain places, it's gonna say 4-1 because Ruud has taken that world team tennis, whatever thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
and yeah, in ATP matches, Ruud has ever only taken 1 set out of Alcaraz as the US Open final.
Is this a confidence boost for Ruud, knowing that Alcaraz might not have been at 100% health, or do you think that it's just kind of, he feels like it's a fluke?
I feel like you take the win, but
yeah,
confidence boost, I feel like not necessarily all that much. I feel like at least if there is one thing, like getting a win is always a good thing. And at the very least, it just says like, hey, at least I know that I'm not going to be beaten by those players unless they're like playing at a decent level.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be a confidence boost, but with Ruud, you never know because he's too much down to earth for a professional athlete. But, he always plays his down his chances. He started the interview saying, "I didn't know what to expect from this match. Like I wanted to give my all from the first point to the last." But going into Wimbledon and indoor season, he says things like this. So maybe it does give him a boost.
Yeah, that's so Scandinavian. Like it's just maddeningly well adjusted. Like a good ambassador. There's that one interview where he's like, well, like these guys are really good. It's like, yeah, we know, man. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, I'm, beat your chest. I'm going to beat everybody. I'm the best. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All
Wow,
right,
what a
guys. So
match.
it was a fun live. Match was fun at times, but not so much in its majority. But yeah.
The banter that we had was more fun for me than the match, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately, I guess I should say.
Yeah, not average Alcaraz level of fun.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Thank you to everybody in the chat for watching along with us, for staying engaged. There's some really fun questions and some interesting points in there. Sorry it wasn't more of a match, but yeah, like as Gokop said, like, hey, we got some good winners in the second in particular, and one great game in the first too.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Later, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.